Christmas Eve at the Waterside Mall was chaos. Families everywhere, children screaming with excitement, Christmas music pouring from every speaker. The food court blazed with lights and noise and the desperate energy of last-minute shoppers. Serena Hayes sat in the middle of it all, alone, crying. She stared at her phone. The message was still there. She'd read it 17 times, hoping the words would change. They hadn't. "Serena, I'm so sorry, but we can't do Christmas dinner this year. Mom isn't feeling well, and with everything going on, we think it's better to keep it small, just immediate family. You understand, right? We'll see you after the holidays. Love, Rachel. Just immediate family." The words burned. Serena was Rachel's sister. They'd grown up together, shared a room, fought over clothes, told each other secrets. But that was before the accident at 14, before bacterial meningitis stole her hearing in 3 terrible weeks, before her family started looking at her like she was broken. She wiped her eyes with shaking hands. Around her, the world moved. People laughed, talked, celebrated. She couldn't hear any of it. 13 years of silence, 13 years of being invisible. Her hands moved without thinking, signing to herself. "I don't belong anywhere. Daddy, look." Marcus Williams heard his daughter's voice and followed her gaze. A woman sat alone at a corner table, mid-20s maybe, dark hair falling around her face, crying quietly while her hands moved in deliberate patterns. ASL. She was signing. "That lady is crying," Zoe whispered, "and she's signing to herself." Marcus's chest tightened. He recognized that kind of loneliness. He'd felt it himself 3 years ago when his wife died and the world stopped making sense, when he'd had to explain to a 5-year-old that Mommy wasn't coming home, when nights stretched endless and empty. "Can we help her?" Zoe asked. "It's Christmas Eve. Nobody should cry alone on Christmas." Marcus looked at his daughter, 8 years old, with her mother's kind heart. "You're right," he said. "Come on." They crossed the food court. The woman didn't notice them approaching. Her eyes were fixed on her phone. Marcus stopped beside her table. He lifted his hands and signed. "Excuse me." She looked up, startled. Her hazel eyes were red from crying. "I couldn't help but notice you were upset," Marcus signed. His movements were fluid, confident. "Are you okay?" Serena stared at him. A stranger, a black man in his 30s with kind eyes and a little girl beside him, signing, perfect ASL. Not the clumsy finger-spelling most hearing people attempted, not the basic signs her family had learned and then forgotten, real signing. Her hands moved automatically. "I'm fine. Thank you." The little girl tugged the man's jacket and signed something. Her movements were enthusiastic but uncertain, still learning. The man smiled and signed back to his daughter, then turned to Serena again. "My daughter Zoe says you don't look fine," he signed. "She says you look like someone who needs a friend." Serena's throat tightened. "I appreciate your concern," she signed. "But really, I'm okay." "It's Christmas Eve," the man signed, "and you're crying alone in a food court. That's not okay." He paused, then signed something that made Serena's heart stop. "If you have nowhere to go tonight, come home with us." Serena's hands froze mid-sign. "What?" "I'm Marcus," he signed. "This is my daughter Zoe. We're about to go home, make hot chocolate, watch Christmas movies. You're welcome to join us." "You don't even know me," Serena signed. "No," Marcus agreed. "But I know what it feels like to be alone during the holidays. And I know my daughter won't sleep tonight if we leave you here crying." Zoe tugged her father's sleeve. She signed something slow and careful. Marcus translated. "She says please come. She says it's not fair that you're sad when everyone else is happy." Serena looked at the little girl, gap-toothed smile, bright eyes, hair in 2 puffs with colorful beads, pure innocence, pure kindness. "Why are you doing this?" Serena signed to Marcus. Why would you invite a stranger to your home? Marcus was quiet for a moment. When he signed again, his movements were slower, more deliberate. Because 3 years ago, my wife died. And that first Christmas without her, a neighbor saw Zoe and me sitting in our apartment, both of us crying. She knocked on our door and brought us dinner. She stayed until Zoe fell asleep. She saved us that night. He paused. Sometimes kindness from strangers is what keeps us breathing, so I'm paying it forward. Serena felt fresh tears spilling over. This man, this complete stranger, saw her, really saw her. I don't want to impose, she signed. You're not imposing if we're inviting you, Marcus signed back. Please, let us help. Serena looked at her phone again, at her sister's message. Just immediate family. She looked at this man and his daughter. These strangers who'd stopped their Christmas Eve to check on a crying woman they didn't know. She made a decision. Okay, she signed. Yes. Thank you. Zoe's face lit up. She grabbed Serena's hand and squeezed. Marcus smiled, a real smile that reached his eyes. Come on, he signed. Let's get you home. They walked through the parking lot together. Zoe held Serena's hand the entire way, chattering in a mix of spoken words and enthusiastic signs. Marcus translated when needed. She wants to know if you like hot chocolate. I love it, Serena signed to Zoe. She says her daddy makes the best hot chocolate in the world, with extra marshmallows. That sounds perfect. Marcus's truck was old but clean, a car seat in the back. Children's drawings taped to the dashboard. Evidence of a life, a family. Serena climbed into the passenger seat. Her hands were shaking. What was she doing? Getting into a stranger's car, going to his home. But Marcus started the engine and signed with one hand. You can text someone our address if it makes you feel safer. I understand this is unusual. The consideration made Serena's chest ache. Thank you, she signed, but I trust you. And she did. Something about this man felt safe. The drive took 20 minutes. Marcus pointed out landmarks. Zoe sang Christmas songs from the back seat that Serena couldn't hear but could feel in the vibrations. They pulled up to a modest apartment building, 3 stories, older but well-maintained. Home, Marcus said, and signed simultaneously. The apartment was small but warm. Children's drawings covered the refrigerator. Books everywhere. A half-decorated Christmas tree in the corner with lights unplugged. We haven't finished decorating, Marcus signed. Work's been crazy. I'm a social worker. Holiday season is our busiest time. That explains the ASL, Serena signed. Partly, Marcus signed back. I work with deaf youth, but I learned because my wife was an interpreter. She taught me. Past tense. His wife was dead. Serena's heart ached for him. Zoe tugged her hand and led her to the couch. The little girl signed something elaborate. Marcus translated. She wants to show you her room and her drawings and her rock collection. But first, hot chocolate. He disappeared into the kitchen. Serena sat on the couch. Zoe curled up beside her. The little girl pulled out a notebook and showed Serena her drawings. Stick figures, a family of 3. One figure had angel wings. That's Mommy, Marcus said, coming back with mugs. He spoke and signed. Zoe draws her a lot. Zoe signed to her father, something private. Marcus's eyes softened. He signed back, then turned to Serena. She says you look sad like Daddy does sometimes. She wants to know if you lost someone too. Serena's hands trembled as she signed. I lost my family, but they're not dead. They just stopped wanting me. Marcus translated for Zoe. The little girl's face crumpled. She wrapped her arms around Serena and held tight. And Serena, who hadn't been hugged by her own family in months, who'd spent Christmas Eve alone and unwanted, broke down completely. She cried into this child's shoulder while Marcus sat beside them, his hand gentle on her back. No words, no signs, just presence, just kindness. When Serena finally pulled back, Zoe was crying too. The little girl signed slowly, carefully. "You can be part of our family now." Marcus started to correct her, to explain that wasn't how it worked. But Serena stopped him. "I'd like that," she signed to Zoe. "Thank you." And for the first time in 13 years, Serena felt like maybe she wasn't completely alone. "Before we continue, I need you to do something. If you felt Serena's pain when her family cancelled Christmas, if you understood Marcus's choice to help a stranger, if you've ever felt invisible in a crowd of people, subscribe right now. Hit that like button if that moment when Marcus signed "Come home with us" gave you chills. Comment below. What time is it? Where are you watching from? Have you ever been excluded by your own family? Would you have invited a stranger home on Christmas Eve? Because in part 2, Serena's family discovers where she is. We learn why Marcus really knows ASL so well. And Zoe asks a question that changes everything. A deaf woman alone, a single dad who saw her. One Christmas Eve invitation that rewrites 3 lives. Don't go anywhere. The hot chocolate was perfect, rich, sweet, topped with marshmallows that Zoe had insisted on piling high. Serena sat on Marcus's couch, wrapped in a borrowed blanket, and felt warmth spreading through her chest. Not from the drink, from this small apartment, this man and his daughter, this unexpected kindness. "Better?" Marcus signed. Serena nodded. "Much better. Thank you." Zoe bounced on the couch beside her. The little girl had changed into pajamas covered with cartoon penguins. Her hair was down now, falling in soft curls around her face. She signed something to her father. "She wants to finish decorating the tree," Marcus translated. "She says it's not Christmas without a decorated tree." "Can I help?" Serena signed. Zoe's face lit up like the sun. They spent the next hour decorating together. Marcus brought out boxes of ornaments. Each one had a story. Zoe explained them all in her enthusiastic, imperfect signing. "This one Mommy made. This one from my first Christmas. This one Daddy dropped and glued back together." Serena hung each ornament carefully, reverently. This was their family history, their memories, and they were sharing it with her, a complete stranger. Marcus worked beside her. His presence was steady, calm. Every few minutes he'd catch her eye, make sure she was okay. She always nodded, because she was okay. For the first time in months, she was actually okay. "There." Marcus signed when they finished. He plugged in the lights. The tree blazed to life. Zoe clapped her hands. "It's beautiful," Serena signed. "It's crooked," Marcus signed back with a smile. "But it's ours." Serena's phone buzzed. She pulled it out. Her stomach dropped. Rachel, her sister, calling. She showed Marcus the screen. "My sister," she signed. "She's probably calling to make sure I'm not mad about cancelling." "Are you going to answer?" Serena stared at the phone. She'd spent 13 years answering, accommodating, making things easy for her family, always being the one who adjusted. She declined the call. "Not tonight," she signed. "Tonight I'm choosing to be somewhere I'm wanted." Marcus's expression softened. "Good for you." The phone buzzed again, a text this time. Rachel, "Serena, please answer. Mom's worried. Where are you? Are you okay?" Serena typed back, "I'm fine. I'm with friends. Merry Christmas." She put the phone away. Marcus was watching her, reading her face. How long since you lost your hearing?" he signed. 13 years, Serena signed back. "I was 14, bacterial meningitis. And your family never learned to sign?" Serena's hands moved bitterly. They learned basics. "Good morning. How are you? I love you." The signs that look good, but real conversation? Too hard, too time-consuming. Marcus's jaw tightened. "That's not family," he signed. "That's neglect." The validation hit Serena like a wave. She'd spent years making excuses, telling herself she was too sensitive, that she expected too much. But this stranger saw it clearly. Neglect. "Tell me about your wife," Serena signed. If that's okay. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Then he moved to the mantel, picked up a framed photo, a beautiful woman, dark skin, bright smile, holding baby Zoe. He handed it to Serena. Her name was Angela, Marcus signed. She was an ASL interpreter. We met at a deaf community event. She was interpreting. I was there supporting a client. She was beautiful. She was everything, Marcus signed. His movements were careful, controlled. Brain aneurysm, no warning. One day she was here, the next she was gone. I'm so sorry. Zoe was 5, Marcus continued. Too young to understand death. Old enough to know Mommy wasn't coming back. He paused. That first year was hell. I didn't know how to be both parents. Didn't know how to keep working and raise her alone. Didn't know how to stop crying long enough to help her cry. Serena reached out, touched his hand. He looked at her, really looked at her. But you survived, she signed. We survived, Marcus corrected. Together. Zoe appeared in the doorway, rubbing her eyes. She signed something sleepy. She wants you to tuck her in, Marcus translated. Both of us, Serena's chest tightened. Are you sure? She doesn't ask often, Marcus signed. It means she trusts you. They walked to Zoe's room together. The walls were covered with drawings. A shelf full of books, a nightlight shaped like a moon. Zoe climbed into bed, clutched a worn, stuffed elephant. Marcus sat on one side, Serena on the other. Zoe signed to her father. She wants to know if you're staying tonight, Marcus translated. She says the couch is comfortable. Serena looked at Marcus. I don't want to impose. Stop saying that, Marcus signed firmly. You're not imposing. We want you here. Okay, Serena signed. I'll stay. Zoe smiled. She reached for Serena's hand. Marcus signed something to his daughter, something tender. Zoe giggled, then signed back. She says you have sad eyes like Daddy, Marcus translated, but she thinks we can make them happy again. Serena's vision blurred with tears. This child, this precious, perceptive child. I think you already did, Serena signed. They stayed until Zoe fell asleep, her breathing evening out, her hand still holding Serena's. Marcus gently extracted his daughter's grip, led Serena back to the living room. He pulled out blankets, pillows, made up the couch. Bathrooms down the hall, he signed. Help yourself to anything you need. Marcus, Serena signed. Her hands were shaking. Why are you doing this? Really? Marcus sat down, gestured for her to join him. When he signed again, his movements were slow, deliberate. 3 years ago, that neighbor who brought us dinner, she was deaf. Mrs. Patterson from upstairs, she'd lost her husband the year before. She understood grief. She couldn't hear Zoe crying through the walls, but she felt the vibrations. She knew. She knocked on our door, brought us food, taught me that the deaf community understands isolation in ways hearing people don't. He paused. She saved us. And when she died last year, I promised myself I'd pay it forward. I'd look for people who needed what she gave us. Presence, understanding, family. So, when Zoe pointed you out tonight, I knew this was my chance. Serena was crying again. But these tears were different, not grief, not loneliness, relief. You're a good man, Marcus Williams, she signed. I'm trying to be, he signed back, for Zoe, for Angela's memory, for people like you who deserve better. They sat in comfortable silence. The Christmas tree lights cast soft shadows. Outside, snow began to fall. Can I ask you something? Marcus signed. Anything. Your family. Do you want them back? Or are you done? Serena thought about it. Really thought about it. I don't know, she signed honestly. Part of me wants them to wake up, to realize what they've lost, to fight for me. But another part is tired, so tired of begging for crumbs. You deserve more than crumbs, Marcus signed. So do you, Serena signed back. You've been alone for 3 years, that's a long time. I had Zoe, Marcus signed. That was enough. Was? Marcus looked at her. Something shifted in his expression. Is, he corrected. Is enough. But Serena saw the truth in his eyes. He was lonely too. They said good night. Marcus disappeared into his room. Serena lay on the couch, wrapped in blankets that smelled like laundry detergent and home. Her phone buzzed again. 3 missed calls, 7 texts, all from her family. Now they cared. Now they were worried. Where had that worry been earlier, when they'd cancelled on her? She opened her sister's latest text. Rachel. Serena, you're scaring us. Where are you? Who are these friends? You never mentioned friends. Please call. Mom's crying. Serena's jaw tightened. Mom was crying. Not because she'd hurt her daughter, but because her daughter wasn't responding. She typed back, Tell Mom I'm fine. Tell her I'm exactly where I need to be, and tell her that just immediate family hurt more than she'll ever understand. She sent it. Then she turned off her phone. For the first time in 13 years, she chose herself. She chose peace. She chose the family that wanted her, not the family that tolerated her. Sleep came easier than it had in months. And when she woke on Christmas morning to the smell of coffee and the sound of Zoe's footsteps, Serena felt something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Christmas morning arrived with weak winter sunlight. Serena woke slowly. Disoriented at first, then she remembered. Marcus, Zoe, the invitation, the kindness. She sat up, folded the blankets carefully. The apartment was quiet, or at least it appeared to be. Serena could never be sure. She found Marcus in the kitchen, making pancakes. He turned when he felt the floorboards vibrate, smiled. Good morning, he signed. Coffee? Please, Serena signed back. Can I help? You can keep me company, Marcus signed. I'm not great at cooking, but Christmas pancakes are tradition. Serena watched him work. His movements were practiced, confident. A single dad who'd learned to do everything alone. Where's Zoe? Still sleeping, Marcus signed. Miracle of miracles. Usually she's up at 5 on Christmas. They worked in comfortable silence. Marcus cooking, Serena setting the table. It felt domestic, natural, like they'd been doing this for years. Zoe appeared at 7:30, hair wild, eyes bright. She saw Serena and squealed, ran over and hugged her. You stayed, she said, and signed simultaneously. You really stayed. I promised, Serena signed back. They ate breakfast together. Pancakes that were slightly burned but perfect. Zoe chatted about Christmas, about presents, about Santa. Marcus translated when needed, but mostly they communicated in signs. A blend of ASL and gesture and understanding. After breakfast, Zoe dragged them to the Christmas tree. There were presents underneath, not many, but wrapped with care. Can Serena open one? Zoe asked her father. Baby, Serena's our guest. She didn't bring presents, but Zoe was already pulling something from under the tree, a flat package, wrapped in newspaper and tied with yarn. She thrust it at Serena. I made this last night, Zoe signed carefully, after you helped me sleep. Serena's hand shook as she unwrapped it. Inside was a drawing, 3 figures holding hands, labeled Daddy, Me, and Serena. Above them, a figure with angel wings. Mommy. Below, in Zoe's careful printing, Our family. Serena pressed her hand to her mouth. Marcus leaned over to look, his expression softened. Zoe, this is beautiful, he signed to his daughter. But honey, Serena has her own family. But they don't want her, Zoe signed back with brutal honesty. We do. Serena was crying again. How did this child see everything so clearly? Thank you, she signed to Zoe. This is the most beautiful gift anyone's ever given me. Zoe beamed, then turned to her own presents. Marcus caught Serena's eye, signed privately. Sorry, she gets attached quickly. Don't apologize, Serena signed back. She's perfect. They spent the morning opening presents, playing with Zoe's new toys, watching Christmas movies with subtitles. It was perfect. Until noon, when someone knocked on the door. Marcus frowned. He wasn't expecting anyone. He looked through the peephole. His expression changed. He turned to Serena, signed urgently. "It's your family." Serena's stomach dropped. "What?" "A woman. Looks like you. She's holding flowers." Serena's hands shook. "My sister, Rachel. Do you want me to send her away?" Serena wanted to say yes, wanted to hide, but she'd spent 13 years hiding. "No," she signed. "I'll talk to her." Marcus opened the door. Rachel stood there. Blonde hair, designer coat, perfect makeup. Her eyes widened when she saw Serena. "Serena, thank God. We've been calling—" She stopped. Noticed Marcus. Noticed Zoe. "Who are these people?" Rachel asked. "Serena, what's going on?" Serena stepped forward, started signing. Rachel's face went blank. I can't understand when you do that. Can you just talk? Use your voice?" The request landed like a slap. Marcus's jaw tightened. He stepped forward. "She's signing," he said. His voice was firm. "That's her language. Either learn to understand it or leave." Rachel stared at him. "Excuse me? Who are you to—" "I'm the person who invited her for Christmas when her own family abandoned her," Marcus said. Rachel flinched. Serena touched Marcus's arm, shook her head. She pulled out her phone, started typing. Rachel read over her shoulder. "You cancelled on me, said I wasn't immediate family, so I spent Christmas with people who actually wanted me here." "Serena, that's not fair. We didn't cancel because of you. Mom was sick." Serena typed faster. "Mom is always sick when it comes to accommodating me. 13 years of excuses. I'm done." "You're being dramatic," Rachel said, but her voice was shaking. Serena typed one more message, showed it to her sister. "You came here because you felt guilty, not because you missed me. There's a difference." Rachel's eyes filled with tears. "I do miss you," she whispered. "Serena, please, come home. We can fix this." Serena signed to Marcus. He translated. "She says you had 13 years to fix it. 13 years to learn her language, to include her, to make her feel wanted. She says she's tired of being the one who has to fix everything." Rachel looked at Serena, really looked at her. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm so sorry. We should have tried harder." Serena's hands moved. Marcus translated. "She says sorry isn't enough. She says if you want her back in your life, you need to prove it." "How?" Rachel asked desperately. Serena typed on her phone, showed her sister. "Learn ASL. Real ASL. Not just basics. Take classes, put in effort, and stop expecting me to accommodate you while you make no effort to accommodate me." Rachel read it, nodded slowly. "Okay," she said. "I'll do it. I promise." "I've heard promises before," Serena typed. "This time will be different," Rachel insisted. Serena looked at her sister, at this woman who'd shared her childhood, who'd abandoned her in adulthood. She typed one final message. "I need time, space. Don't contact me until you can hold a conversation in ASL. Then we'll talk." Rachel's face crumpled, but she nodded. "Okay," she whispered. "I understand." She set the flowers down, turned to leave. At the door, she looked back. "Merry Christmas, Serena." Serena didn't respond. The door closed. Silence. Then Zoe appeared at Serena's side, took her hand. "You were brave," the little girl signed. Serena knelt down, hugged her. "Thank you," she signed. Marcus was watching her, concern in his eyes. "Are you okay?" Serena stood, looked at him. "I don't know," she signed honestly, "but I did the right thing." "You did," Marcus agreed. The rest of Christmas Day was quieter. They watched movies, played board games, made dinner together, but something had shifted. Serena had drawn a line, set a boundary, and Marcus had stood beside her. That night, after Zoe was asleep, they sat together on the couch. The Christmas tree lights glowed softly. "Thank you," Serena signed, "for standing up for me." "Always," Marcus signed back. "You barely know me." "I know enough," Marcus signed. His eyes were serious. "I know you deserve better than how they treat you." "So do you," Serena signed. "You've been alone for 3 years." "I told you, I have Zoe." "That's not the same." Marcus was quiet. Serena continued. "You take care of everyone, your clients, your daughter, me. But who takes care of you?" "I don't need—" "Yes, you do." Serena signed firmly. "Everyone does." Marcus stared at her. Then slowly he signed. "Maybe you're right." They sat in silence. But it wasn't uncomfortable, it was understanding. Two lonely people, finding each other. "Stay," Marcus signed suddenly. "What?" "Not just tonight. Stay, for a while. Until you figure things out." "Marcus, I can't." "Why not?" His signing was intense. "You have nowhere else to go. Your family doesn't deserve you, and Zoe—" He paused. "Zoe loves you already, and I—" He stopped himself. "And you what?" Serena signed. Marcus's hands moved slowly. "I like having you here." The admission hung between them. Serena's heart pounded. "I like being here," she signed back. "Then stay." Serena thought about it. Her empty apartment, her lonely life, her family who'd abandoned her. Then she looked at this man, this little girl, this unexpected family. "Okay," she signed, "I'll stay." Marcus's face broke into a smile. Real, genuine, beautiful. And Serena realized something terrifying. She was falling for him, this man who signed fluently, who defended her fiercely, who made terrible pancakes and raised an incredible daughter. She was falling, fast, and she had no idea if he felt the same. 3 days after Christmas, Serena moved her things in. Not much. A suitcase of clothes, her laptop, her art supplies, the evidence of a life lived small. Marcus cleared space in the hall closet. Zoe insisted Serena use half of her bookshelf. "So you feel at home," the little girl signed. Serena's chest tightened with emotion. Home. She hadn't felt that in 13 years. Marcus worked during the day. Social services didn't stop for the holidays. Serena stayed with Zoe. They drew together, watched movies, made cookies that were slightly burnt but delicious. The little girl taught Serena new signs, child logic interpretations that made Serena laugh. And at night, after Zoe was asleep, Marcus and Serena sat together, talking in signs, sharing stories, building something neither could name yet. On the 4th day, Marcus came home looking tense. "What's wrong?" Serena signed. He dropped his bag, ran his hands over his face. "Rough day," he signed. "One of my kids, 14-year-old deaf boy. His foster family won't learn ASL. They expect him to lip read, to accommodate them. He's struggling, acting out, and they want to send him back to the group home." Serena's hands moved urgently. "That's not right." "I know," Marcus signed. "But I can't force them to learn, can't force them to see him as anything other than difficult." He sat down heavily. "Sometimes this job breaks my heart." Serena sat beside him, took his hand. "You care so much," she signed. "That's rare. Important." "It's exhausting," Marcus signed. "Can I meet him?" Serena asked. "The boy." Marcus looked at her, surprised. "Why?" "Because maybe he needs to see a deaf adult who's thriving, who's proof that his foster family is wrong." Marcus was quiet for a moment. Then he signed slowly. "That's actually a good idea, really good. I could talk to him, share my story, show him he's not alone." "You'd do that?" "Of course," Serena signed. "You've helped me. Let me help someone else." Marcus's expression softened. "You're remarkable," he signed. Serena felt heat rise in her cheeks. "I'm just paying it forward." 2 days later, Marcus brought the boy to the apartment. His name was David. Thin, guarded, angry eyes. He saw Serena and his hands moved defensively. "Who are you?" "I'm Serena," she signed. "I'm deaf too." David's expression shifted. Surprise, then suspicion. "Marcus brought you to give me a pep talk?" "No," Serena signed honestly. "He brought me because I asked to meet you." "Why?" "Because I was you once, 14, newly deaf, family that didn't understand." David's walls came down slightly. "They want to send me back," he signed. His movements were sharp, angry. "My foster parents, they say I'm too difficult." "You're not difficult," Serena signed. "They are. They're refusing to meet you where you are. Everyone says that, but nothing changes." "So you change it," Serena signed. "How?" Serena pulled out her laptop, showed him her artwork, illustrations she'd done for websites, for small clients. "I'm a graphic designer," she signed. "I work from home, make decent money, have clients who respect me." "You have a real job?" David signed, surprised. "Yes, and so will you. Being deaf doesn't limit you. Other people's ignorance limits you. But you have to be smarter, stronger, more determined than they expect." David stared at her work. "This is really good," he signed. "Thank you. Want to learn?" His eyes lit up. "Really?" "Really. Come back next week. I'll teach you basics." For the first time since entering, David smiled. A real smile. Marcus watched from the kitchen, his expression unreadable. After David left, Serena found Marcus standing by the window. "Thank you," he signed. "What you did today, that was incredible." "It was nothing. It was everything," Marcus signed. "He hasn't smiled in weeks." "He just needed to see possibility," Serena signed. "To know he's not broken." Marcus moved closer. "You're not broken either," he signed softly. "I know that now," Serena signed back. "Because of you." They stood close, too close. Serena could feel the heat radiating from his body. Marcus lifted his hand, hesitated, then gently touched her face. "Serena," he signed with one hand, "I need to tell you something." Her heart hammered. "What?" "Daddy!" Zoe's voice from the hallway. Marcus stepped back quickly. The moment shattered. Zoe appeared, completely oblivious. "Can we have tacos for dinner?" she asked and signed. Marcus smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Sure, baby." That night, Serena lay on the couch, wide awake. What had Marcus been about to say? Did he feel what she felt? This pull, this connection? Or was she imagining it? Her phone buzzed, a text from her mother, the first contact since Christmas. "Serena, please, your sister told me what you said. I enrolled in ASL classes. I start next week. I'm trying. Please give me a chance." "Mom." Serena stared at the message. Her mother, learning ASL after 13 years. She didn't respond. Not yet, but she didn't delete it either. The next morning, Marcus was quiet. He made coffee, avoided eye contact. Something had changed. "Are you okay?" Serena signed. "Fine," he signed back, short, clipped. "Marcus." He stopped, looked at her. "What?" "Don't shut me out." His jaw tightened. "I'm not." "Yes, you are. Last night you were about to say something." Then Zoe interrupted. "And now you're acting like nothing happened." Marcus set down his coffee mug. "Serena, I can't." "Can't what?" "Can't do this," he signed. His movements were frustrated. "Can't feel what I'm feeling." "Why not?" "Because you're staying here temporarily. Because you're vulnerable. Because—" He stopped himself. "Because what?" Serena demanded. "Because I lost Angela," Marcus signed. His hands shook. "Because I loved her with everything I had and she died and it destroyed me. Because I can't go through that again." Serena's eyes filled with tears. "I'm not her," she signed. "I know that." "Then what are you saying?" Marcus ran his hands through his hair. "I'm saying I'm scared, terrified. Because I'm falling for you and I don't know if I can survive losing someone again." The admission hung between them. Serena moved closer. I'm scared too, she signed. My family abandoned me. I have trust issues. I expect rejection. But Marcus, I'm falling for you too. His eyes widened. You are? Yes. And it terrifies me. But I'm tired of being afraid. Marcus stared at her. Then slowly, he closed the distance. He cupped her face with both hands, looked into her eyes, asked permission without words. Serena nodded. He kissed her, soft, gentle, reverent. Serena's hands found his shoulders, held on. The kiss deepened. Years of loneliness, years of grief, years of wanting, all of it poured into this moment. When they finally pulled apart, both were breathing hard. We're doing this, Marcus signed. We're doing this, Serena confirmed. It's going to be complicated. Everything worth having is complicated. Marcus smiled, real and genuine. Zoe's going to be insufferable. She's been trying to set us up since day one. Serena laughed. She's a smart kid. The smartest. They heard footsteps, Zoe padding down the hallway. Marcus stepped back, but took Serena's hand. A statement. A choice. Zoe appeared, saw their joined hands. Her face split into the biggest grin. Finally, she signed emphatically. I've been waiting forever. Marcus laughed. It's been a week, baby. Forever, Zoe insisted. She ran over and hugged both of them. And standing there, wrapped in this little girl's arms, Serena realized something. She hadn't just found a man she was falling for. She'd found a family, a real one. That afternoon, David came back for his first lesson. Serena set him up with her laptop, showed him basic design software. Marcus watched from the kitchen, pride in his eyes. You're good with him, he signed. I understand him, Serena signed back. You should do this more. Mentor deaf kids. Serena paused. You think so? I know so. You have so much to offer. An idea began forming. What if she did? What if she turned her struggle into purpose? That night, after David left excited and talking about design school, Serena approached Marcus. I want to start something, she signed. A program, art mentorship for deaf youth. Through your agency, if you're interested. Marcus's face lit up. Are you serious? Yes. David needs this. Other kids need this. I can help. Serena, that's brilliant. Will you help me with the logistics? Of course, Marcus signed. We're partners now, in everything. Partners. The word settled over Serena like a warm blanket. She had a partner, a purpose, a family, everything she'd thought she'd lost. Her phone buzzed again, another text from her mother. I had my first ASL class today. It was hard. I made mistakes. But the teacher said I have a good memory. I'm going to keep trying, because I don't want to lose you completely. Mom, Serena showed Marcus. What are you going to do? He signed. I don't know yet, Serena signed. But maybe, eventually, if she really commits, maybe I'll give her a chance. That's generous of you. Or maybe I learned from someone that second chances matter. Marcus pulled her close. I love you, he signed. The words made Serena's breath catch. Already, already, always. Is that okay? Serena's eyes filled with tears. It's more than okay, because I love you too. They kissed again. Deeper this time, full of promise. And in the next room, Zoe was drawing another picture, 3 figures holding hands. This time, all of them were smiling. 2 weeks into the new year, Serena's sister Rachel showed up unannounced, again, this time with their mother. Serena opened the door and froze. Claire Hayes stood on the doorstep, 53 years old, perfectly dressed, nervous, and her hands were moving, clumsily, awkwardly, but moving. Hello, Serena, she signed. The hand shapes were wrong, the grammar broken, but she was trying. Serena's throat tightened. Mom, can we talk? Claire signed, then gave up and pulled out her phone. She typed, Please, just 5 minutes. I've been taking classes. I want to show you I'm serious." Serena looked back into the apartment. Marcus stood in the hallway, watching. He signed, "Your choice. I'll support whatever you decide." Serena nodded, stepped outside, closed the door behind her. Rachel and Claire stood in the cold hallway. "You look good," Rachel said aloud, then caught herself, signed clumsily. "Sorry, you look good." Serena pulled out her phone, typed, "What do you want?" Claire typed back, "I want to apologize. Really apologize. Not just say sorry and expect you to forgive me, but to tell you that I was wrong. For 13 years I was wrong." Serena's hands trembled. "Why now?" she typed. "What changed?" Claire's response came slowly. "Because Rachel told me what you said, about how we mourned the daughter we lost instead of loving the daughter we had. And she was right. You were right. I spent 13 years grieving your hearing instead of celebrating you, and I'm ashamed, so ashamed." Tears ran down Claire's face. Rachel stepped forward. Her signing was better than their mother's. She'd been practicing more. "We want another chance," Rachel signed. "A real one. We enrolled in intensive ASL classes. We're going 3 times a week. We're learning deaf history, deaf culture. Everything we should have learned years ago." Serena stared at them, her mother, her sister, actually trying. "This doesn't fix 13 years, she typed. "We know," Claire typed back, "but we want to start. Please, let us try." Serena's phone buzzed with another message from Rachel. "I miss my sister, not the hearing version. You, the real you. The one I never took time to know." Something in Serena's chest cracked. She'd spent years wanting this, begging for this, and now it was here. "Actions," she typed, "not words. If you want back in my life, you prove it. Keep taking classes, learn to sign fluently. Show me this isn't temporary guilt." "We will," Claire typed. "I promise. I've heard promises before." "This time is different," Rachel signed. Her movements were stilted but sincere. "This time we understand what we're losing." The door opened behind Serena. Zoe peeked out. She saw the crying women and immediately signed to Serena. "Are they being mean to you?" Serena smiled despite everything. "No, sweetheart. We're just talking." Claire's eyes widened. She stared at Zoe, then at Serena. Typed, "Is this your daughter?" "No," Serena typed back. "But she's family. More family than you've been in years." The words landed hard. Claire flinched but nodded. "You're right, and I deserve that. But Serena, please, let me meet your new family. Let me see the life you've built." Serena hesitated, looked at Zoe, at this little girl who'd shown her more love in 2 weeks than her biological family had in 13 years. "Okay," she typed, "come in. But you follow my rules. You communicate in sign. You don't speak unless you're translating for yourselves. You meet my world, not the other way around." "Yes," Claire typed immediately. "Whatever you need." They came inside. Marcus was in the kitchen. He'd been listening. He approached, extended his hand to Claire. "I'm Marcus," he said, and signed. "Serena's boyfriend." Boyfriend. The word made Serena's heart skip. They hadn't used labels yet, but hearing it made everything real. Claire shook his hand, typed on her phone, "Thank you for taking care of my daughter when I failed to." Marcus's expression was carefully neutral. "Serena doesn't need taking care of. She's strong, capable, independent. I'm just lucky she chose to be here." The correction was gentle but firm. Claire nodded, understanding. Zoe approached cautiously. Rachel knelt down, signed carefully. "Hi, I'm Rachel, Serena's sister." Zoe studied her, then signed back. "Are you the one who made Serena cry on Christmas?" Rachel's face crumpled. "Yes, I made a terrible mistake." "You should say sorry," Zoe signed with 8-year-old logic. "I'm trying to," Rachel signed back. Zoe considered this, then signed firmly. "Okay, but if you make her cry again, you have to leave." Marcus hid a smile. Serena's heart swelled with love for this protective little girl. They sat in the living room. Awkward at first. Claire and Rachel tried signing, made mistakes, apologized. Serena corrected them patiently. Marcus provided interpretation when needed. Zoe showed them her drawings, including the one of their family. Claire stared at it, at her daughter labeled in a child's handwriting, part of someone else's family. She typed to Serena, "I'm happy you found them, even though it breaks my heart that it wasn't us." "It could have been," Serena typed back, "if you'd tried." "I know, and I'm sorry. So sorry." They talked for 2 hours. Not about the past. Not yet. About the present. About Serena's design work, her new mentorship program, her life with Marcus and Zoe. And slowly, painfully, Claire and Rachel began to see. Really see. The daughter and sister they'd lost wasn't lost at all. She'd been here the whole time, thriving, growing, building a beautiful life. They just hadn't been paying attention. Before they left, Claire asked to speak to Marcus privately. They stepped into the kitchen. Serena watched through the doorway as her mother typed something on her phone, showed it to Marcus. His expression shifted. Surprise, then respect. He typed something back. Claire read it, nodded, wiped her eyes. When they returned, Marcus signed to Serena. "Your mother wants to invite all of us to dinner at her house in 2 weeks, after she's had more classes. She wants to cook for us, as a family." Serena stared at her mother. "All of us," she typed, "including Marcus and Zoe?" "Yes," Claire typed, "because Marcus is right. They're your family, and if I want to be part of your life, I need to accept that." Serena's vision blurred. This was real. Her mother was really trying. "Okay," she typed, 2 weeks, but Mom, if you cancel, if you make excuses, this is the last chance." "I understand," Claire typed. "I won't cancel, I promise." After they left, Serena collapsed on the couch, exhausted, overwhelmed. Marcus sat beside her, pulled her into his arms. "How are you feeling?" he signed. "I don't know," Serena signed back. "Hopeful? Terrified? Both?" "Both is valid." "What did my mother say to you, in the kitchen?" Marcus hesitated, then signed. "She thanked me for loving you, and she apologized for not doing it herself. She said she'd spent 13 years seeing your deafness as a tragedy, and meeting us made her realize it's not. You're not broken. You're just different, and that's beautiful." Serena started crying. Marcus held her while she sobbed. Years of pain, years of rejection, finally being acknowledged. Zoe climbed onto the couch, wrapped her small arms around both of them. "Don't cry," she signed. "We love you. That's what matters." Serena pulled the little girl close. "I know, baby, I know." But that night Serena lay in Marcus's arms. They'd moved beyond the couch a week ago. Now she slept in his bed, in his room, in his life. "I'm scared," she signed in the darkness. "Of what?" "That this is too good. That I'll wake up and it'll all be gone." Marcus pulled her closer. "I'm not going anywhere," he signed. "Neither is Zoe. This is real. We're real." "Promise?" "Promise." Serena closed her eyes. For the first time in 13 years, she believed it. She believed in family, in love, in second chances, and in the power of a stranger who'd signed, "Come home with us," on a snowy Christmas Eve. Everything had changed that night. And Serena would spend the rest of her life being grateful for a kind man and his perceptive daughter who'd seen her when she was invisible, who'd loved her when she was unlovable, who'd given her home when she had nowhere else to go. 6 months later, Serena stood in her childhood home for the first time in 2 years. Her mother's dining room was set for 7. Claire, Rachel, Rachel's fiancé Tom, Marcus, Zoe, Serena, and one empty chair with a framed photo. Angela, Marcus's late wife. Serena had asked if they could include her, a way to honor the woman who'd taught Marcus to sign, who'd made his love for the deaf community possible. Claire had cried when Serena suggested it. Yes, she'd signed. Her movements were smoother now. 6 months of intensive classes. She's part of this family too. And now they all sat together, awkward at first, then gradually warming. Claire had hired an ASL interpreter, a professional who sat at the corner of the table, voicing for those who needed it. But mostly, they signed. Claire's signing had improved dramatically. She was conversational now, not fluent but functional. Rachel was even better. She'd discovered a gift for languages. They still made mistakes, still asked for clarification, but they tried. Every single day they tried. "Tell us about the mentorship program," Tom said and signed. He was learning too. For Rachel. Serena's face lit up. "We have 12 kids now," she signed, ages 13 to 18, all deaf or hard of hearing, all learning graphic design. 3 have already gotten freelance work. 1 got accepted to art school with a full scholarship. "That's incredible," Claire signed. Her movements were careful but proud. "I'm so proud of you." The words landed softly. Claire had said them before in the past 6 months, but Serena never got tired of hearing them. "Marcus helped make it possible," Serena signed. "His agency provides the space, the funding, the support." Marcus squeezed her hand under the table. "It's all Serena," he signed. "I just opened doors. She's the one changing lives." Zoe bounced in her seat. "And I help. I'm the assistant." Everyone laughed. It was true. Zoe had appointed herself Serena's helper. She greeted the students, brought snacks, kept supplies organized. At 9 years old, she was the program's biggest cheerleader. "Zoe, show them your new signs," Marcus encouraged. The little girl grinned. She'd been taking formal ASL classes now. Her signing had improved tremendously. She signed a full sentence, fluid and confident. "I want to be an interpreter like Marcus's wife when I grow up, so I can help deaf people and hearing people understand each other." Claire's eyes filled with tears. She signed to Zoe. "That's a beautiful dream." "I know," Zoe signed back matter-of-factly. "I'm pretty good at it already." More laughter. After dinner, Claire pulled Serena aside. They stood in the kitchen, the same kitchen where Serena had learned to bake cookies as a child, before everything changed. "I have something for you," Claire signed. She handed Serena a photo album. Serena opened it. Pictures from her childhood, before she lost her hearing. Birthday parties, school plays, family vacations. "I put this together," Claire signed, "because I realized I'd been so focused on what we lost that I forgot what we had. You were such a happy child, so full of joy." She paused, then continued signing. "And you're still that person, still joyful, still full of light. I just couldn't see it because I was looking for the wrong things." Serena's vision blurred. "Mom, I wasted 13 years, Claire signed, tears streaming down her face. 13 years I can't get back, but I'm here now. Really here, and I'm not leaving again." Serena pulled her mother into a fierce hug. They stood there, crying together, grieving the years they'd lost, celebrating the years they'd found. When they pulled apart, Claire signed one more thing. "Thank you for giving me another chance. I know I didn't deserve it." "Everyone deserves a second chance," Serena signed back. "Someone taught me that." She looked through the doorway at Marcus. He was playing with Zoe, making her laugh. "He's a good man," Claire signed. "The best." "Do you love him?" "Yes, so much it scares me sometimes." "Does he love you?" "He says so every day." Claire smiled. "Then don't be scared. Love is the only thing worth being brave for." That night, driving home, Marcus signed with one hand while driving. "Your mom did great tonight." "She did," Serena agreed. "I'm proud of her." "Are you happy?" Serena looked at him, at this man who'd changed everything. "I'm more than happy. I'm home." Marcus pulled into their apartment complex. Their home, not his apartment, not her temporary space. Their home. Zoe had fallen asleep in the back seat. Marcus carried her upstairs, tucked her into bed. Serena watched from the doorway. This little girl had become hers too, not biologically, but in every way that mattered. Marcus came back, took Serena's hand, led her to their bedroom. "I have something to ask you," he signed. "Okay." He pulled out a small box. Serena's breath caught. "Marcus, wait, let me sign first." His hands moved slowly, deliberately. "6 months ago, you were a stranger crying alone on Christmas Eve. Now you're my best friend, my partner, the person I want to wake up next to every morning. You've made Zoe happier than I've seen her since Angela died. You've made me believe in love again, in family, in second chances." He opened the box, a simple silver ring, beautiful in its simplicity. "Will you marry me? Will you be part of this family officially forever?" Serena was crying, smiling. Her hands shook as she signed. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." Marcus slipped the ring on her finger, then kissed her. Deep, passionate, full of promise. When they pulled apart, Zoe was standing in the doorway, grinning. "I knew it!" she signed excitedly. "I told Daddy to ask you. Did you say yes?" "I said yes," Serena signed back. Zoe ran over, threw her arms around both of them. "Now you're really my bonus mom. Forever." Serena held her tight. This child, this precious, perfect child. "Forever," she signed. They stood there, the three of them, a family formed not by blood but by choice, by kindness, by love, by a chance encounter on Christmas Eve that had changed 3 lives. Later, lying in bed beside Marcus, Serena thought about the journey. From that food court, alone and crying, to here, engaged, loved, home. "What are you thinking?" Marcus signed in the darkness. "I'm thinking about Christmas Eve, about how close I came to spending it alone, how different my life would be if Zoe hadn't noticed me." "She has a gift for seeing people," Marcus signed. "She gets it from her mother. I wish I could have met Angela." "She would have loved you," Marcus signed. His movements were gentle, sad, but at peace. "She would have been so happy that Zoe and I found you." "Do you think she'd be okay with this? With us?" Marcus pulled Serena closer. "I know she would. Angela believed love was infinite, that losing her didn't mean I couldn't love again. She made me promise, actually, right before she died. She made me promise I'd find happiness again. For Zoe's sake, for mine." He paused. "I think she sent you to us. I really do." Serena's eyes filled with tears. "Then I owe her everything." "We both do." They lay in comfortable silence. Tomorrow, they'd start planning a wedding. Tomorrow, Serena's mentorship program would expand to 3 more cities. Tomorrow, Claire would come for dinner, practicing her signing, building her relationship with her daughter. Tomorrow, Rachel would call with wedding planning questions, asking Serena to be her maid of honor. Tomorrow, life would continue in its beautiful, messy, complicated way. But tonight, Serena was exactly where she needed to be, in the arms of a man who saw her completely, in a home filled with love and laughter and understanding, in a family she'd chosen and who'd chosen her back. She thought about the woman she'd been 6 months ago, invisible, alone, convinced she'd never belong anywhere. And she thought about the woman she was now, seen, loved, home. The transformation hadn't been easy. There'd been tears, confrontations, difficult conversations. There'd been her family's slow, painful journey toward understanding. There'd been learning to trust, to love, to believe she deserved good things. But every difficult moment had been worth it, because of Marcus. Because of Zoe, because a little girl had tugged her father's sleeve and said, "That lady needs help." because a kind man had signed "Come home with us" to a crying stranger, because sometimes miracles happen in food courts on Christmas Eve. Sometimes strangers become family. Sometimes lost people find their way home, not to the place they came from, but to the place they were always meant to be. Serena closed her eyes, her hand resting on Marcus's chest, his heartbeat steady beneath her palm. And for the first time in 13 years, she fell asleep without fear, without loneliness, without doubt, because she knew with absolute certainty that she was exactly where she belonged. Home. Finally. Beautifully. Completely. Home. If you felt Serena's loneliness on Christmas Eve, if you understood Marcus's choice to help a stranger, if you've ever felt invisible until someone finally saw you, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that like button if this story moved you. Comment below. What time is it? Where are you watching from? Have you ever been excluded by family? Have you ever been the stranger who helped someone in need? What moment in this story touched you most? Share this with anyone who needs to understand that family isn't always blood, that sometimes strangers become family, that one act of kindness can change everything. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next story.